So, it's a big week for some ocean lovers. Shark Week.
A chance to learn about these often misunderstood sea animals, right? I think we've all seen Jaws and thought for a second, I don't know about sharks.
How much more do I need to know? How much more do I need to know?
So we've got Elizabeth Kaltenhauser, an aquarist from Sea Life in Mall of America. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First, I didn't know that aquarist was a word. So I'm very happy that you are here today to share. Because what does an aquarist do?
Yeah, so an aquarist is basically like an aquatic zookeeper. So we focus primarily on fish and invertebrates.
Okay.
So if you imagine like just working at an aquarium instead of at a big zoo, that's what an aquarist
Okay, and you're at Sea Life over at, people know because it's right when you walk into the Mall of America.
Right, yeah, right through the east entrance.
Okay.
Okay, so look, I've seen the commercials for like the last, I don't even know, 2 weeks. Shark Week is here.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, so for someone who is not familiar with Shark Week, explain what is Shark Week? What's this all about?
Yeah, so Shark Week is an entire week dedicated to just talking about these animals, talking about the passion we have for these animals, the conservation, and a lot of different programming places actually will talk a lot about sharks through Shark Week.
What kind of sharks do you have at Sea Life?
We have 11 different species.
You do?
Yeah,
11?
11, yeah. We have the largest ones, which is actually just a jaw from from a different shark that we don't have anymore. But these are sand tiger sharks, and these are the largest sharks that we have.
How big?
They get to be about 9 feet.
Whew.
Yeah, so you guys can definitely touch that shark.
Look, put your head.
Oh, no!
Yeah, you can definitely touch these teeth, though. They're very, very sharp.
Yeah, that thing could take your head off.
So the thing is, too, and I mentioned Jaws off the top here, there are
Yes.
some misconceptions about sharks that have kind of played out in popular culture, too.
Yes, for sure. So majority of the misconception about sharks is that they're going to eat people, which is just not the case. They do something called a test bite, which is why they unfortunately have bitten people in the past, because they'll do this test bite to determine if it's food or if it's not food. I mean, there are some sharks out in the wild that'll eat tires. They'll eat license plates on accident because they just don't know what it is, because they don't have the best eyesight. And so they're going to rely on taste, they're going to rely on their sixth sense, which is called an ampullae of Lorenzini organ, which actually will pick up electrical receptors in the water from fish swimming around. So when you make splashing, they can hear that, they can also feel that. So when you're making splashing in the water, they'll actually come over and they may do a test bite, but that's, again, a misconception. Majority of the time that you're gonna be in the water, they're not going to bug you, they're gonna leave you guys alone. Yeah.
Talk to us about the shark teeth, because you were explaining something that was really interesting.
Yeah, so these shark teeth here, so this is a nurse shark jaw. I know it's really kind of hard to see, but there's actually all these little rows of teeth, and they'll lose between 20 to 30,000 in their entire lifetime.
Teeth? 20 to 30,000 teeth?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
And the reason for that is because they're actually not just built into the foundation of the jaw itself. And so what they're going to do is when they bite something, they'll lose a few teeth, and then the rows will just replace those teeth.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Okay.
So it's just a constant conveyor belt of teeth.
So what's the role that sharks play in our ecosystem?
Yeah, so sharks will actually make sure that all of our food webs are in check. So they are an apex predator, meaning they are very important. They're at the top of their food chain. And so they primarily make sure that one species or one type of animal is going to stay in check. So for example, if a great white shark goes away, we don't have great white sharks anymore, then seal populations are going to skyrocket. When that happens, they eat all the fish that you and I consume.
I see.
Yeah, so it's really important to have sharks around because they are maintaining the food webs.
What is some of the other stuff that you brought here?
I brought so much stuff in. So I want to start with this one because this is really cool. So this is actually from one of our white-spotted bamboo sharks and brown-banded bamboo sharks that we have at the aquarium. They're one of the smallest species that we have. They're found in our Rainbow Reef exhibit at Sea Life Mall of America. And they'll actually lay eggs. And when they have, there's nothing in here, obviously. There wasn't anything in here. It was unfertilized. So it's just an egg sac, an empty one. But when a shark would be in there, they would just wiggle themselves out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to touch that, you can certainly do that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's this here?
So this is a caudal fin. So
That's a fin?
This is a fin, a back fin. So if you imagine the fish, the shark swimming like this.
Yeah.
That's what this is. So the caudal fin is made out of cartilage, which is the same material as your ears and your nose is made out of. Yeah, and they'll actually be hunted for these fins.
Wow.
So people will go out and cut these off and use them to make shark fin soup, shark fin cake, all kinds of different products made out of shark. And there are a lot of sustainable ways of collecting sharks, but there's also a lot of unfortunate pirating going on where they'll just cut the fins off, throw the shark back. It's really sad.
okay, so we got, I want to hold these up so you can
Oh,
see them.
my goodness.
A little one
And a big one.
Perspective there.
Okay.
A lot of perspective. So that big black one that you're holding there, that is a fossilized megalodon tooth.
Which megalodons aren't around anymore,
They are
right?
not. They are dinosaurs. They are not around. I know there's also another misconception. It's just a rumor that they're still alive, but that is not the case. Even though a lot of movies would like you to think it was, but it's just not the case. But then this little one here, this is the great white tooth. So
That's still a big.
I was going to say, just for perspective, that's still a giant tooth.
Okay, we don't have much time left, but tell us before we go, what is this thing?
So that is a wobbegong shark skin. Again, this is something that we have sustainably. We have permits to hold these types of items. So we actually do have a live one in our Shark Cove exhibit, which is a 500,000 gallon exhibit.
Yeah.
And I just brought it in because I thought it was really cool, and I thought you guys would be able to feel that rough skin they have.
Yeah.
Those are called dermal denticle scales.
Okay.
They're really sharp, and they help with lift in the water.
Real quick, 'cause it's Shark Week. What do you guys got going on over at the Mall of America this week?
So we actually spend an entire summer dedicated to our sharks through Summer of Sharks, and we do behind-the-scenes tours. We get to learn all about how we as aquarists take care of our animals, what we feed them, how we feed our sharks, as well as we have Sharky meet and greets. There's more information on our website that you can go and find out what time those are at.
Sure.
And then we also have a fun kids activity zone where they get to do fun crafts and learn about sharks, and then see all these cool artifacts that I brought you today.
Wow. Lots of stuff.
Sounds great.
Lots of stuff.
Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.